Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can teach your players how to play defense and how to play defense better. Okay, so in my opinion, defense is the most important aspect of the game. If you don't already know, I have wrote a basketball defense book. I've got a second one on its way. Defense is very important to me because if the other team can't score and you score 2 points, you win. So how I look at it is if we can stop the defense or stop the other team from scoring, you're going to win the game. So from there, defense, I like to teach my players, this is for the starting point of like the 6 and 7 year olds, the ones who are just starting off, is to get them understanding what the form looks like. And that is knees slightly bent, roughly a 45-degree angle. And then what we're going to go from there is to have them on their toes. The reason why we're having them on their toes is because when you're on your toes, your ability to change direction is a lot better. You're going to be a lot quicker. Instead of going from your heels and then pushing off, instead, you're just going straight to pushing off, you're able to be a lot faster. That millisecond counts. So when I'm first teaching them, I get them into their defensive stance, roughly angled knees. Your shoulders are going to be behind your toes, and you're going to be on your toes, and you're going to be playing defense. And you're going to be right up on that player if he's dribbling the ball. Next, what we're going to be doing is the defensive slide, the defensive shuffle. And that's going to start by going heel-toe in one of the other directions. The lead foot is going to be pointing in the direction that you're going to be going. And then from there, once they understand what the form looks like, we can get them all spread out. And then from there, you're going to be having them in their stance. You're going to point in a direction, and they're going to shuffle in that direction. And then you can go right, left, right, left. Once they get used to that, once they're all staying down, you can even have them in their stance and walk up to them and try to push them and see if they're stable, see if they're really, really, really activating their core. From there, once they're stable, then you can have them shuffle back and forth. You can tell them which direction to go in, back and forth. And then from there, you can have them go backwards and forwards by you standing there saying, go backwards, and they have to start backpedaling. Go forwards, they have to start running forwards. Then they get back into their stance, and then they start shuffling right or left, depending on where you're pointing. Now, there is a few drills that you can run, it doesn't matter what age group that you're coaching, that can help your players become better defensive players. Let me go get my basketball, and let me show you what I mean. So there's a drill called the Zigzag drill. That's when you have pylons or clothing, shoes, whatever, spread out into a zigzag formation. So you would have a pylon over there, you'd have a pylon here, you'd have a pylon over there. And basically all you're doing is, and you would have one player who is dribbling with his left hand because he's got a defensive player here towards this pylon. Now at the young level, you would just have him regularly cross over and you're going back in this direction. Meanwhile, this player, he is going to be playing tight defense and he's going to be shuffling along with that player who's playing or dribbling with the ball. From there, what you can do now is on the offensive side, they're learning how to dribble with pressure. So now you're not just a defensive drill, it's also an offensive drill. And then when they start getting up to this pylon offensively, you can have them hop into it so they can explode faster off of that, which will now teach that defensive player to stay on his toes. Because like I was mentioning before, staying on your toes defensively will allow you to become a much faster basketball defender and also be able to change direction a lot faster as well. Especially if you're in a game, if you have really good defenders who are very fast, you're going to be able to get a lot of steals, a lot of fast break, easy points. Now later on this summer on this channel, I'm going to be putting a lot more ladder foot speed drills on here. We're going to be going through a lot of different drills when it comes to foot speed because foot speed is very important offensively and defensively. So look forward to those. But if you type in on Google, on YouTube, ladder drills or foot speed drills, those drills will be able to help your players defend much better as well if you run those in practice. Now, also something for you to think about is to teach your players about fouling. Now, in basketball and defense, you don't really want to foul. Now, fouling happens when you're playing really tight, strong defense. However, there's a few things that you can teach your players that will mitigate that risk of fouls. And that risk is when a player is dribbling, you can go ahead and steal that ball. However, you can't be touching his hand, you can't be touching his arm. Those are areas of the body that you can't touch or attack. Oh, you can probably hear that. It's a Mustang Fox body and a Camaro going by. But basically, when the player is dribbling, they cannot hit that arm, but they can go ahead and steal that ball. Also, you can't be pushing the player on defense. So if you're defending a player and you're pushing him, that's going to be a foul on you, and you can't do that. But you can play really tight, and you can use your body to really pressure them so that they can't cross the ball over in front of you, or else it's a steal. And then you can move on, and if we're running this zigzag drill and they get that steal, you could have a player then, once he gets that steal, you could have a coach in the middle of the court where he gets that steal, he can turn outlet pass to that coach. For in case of a real game, that would be a fast break. But in this case, it's just teaching him, grab that ball, go back into the offensive side and get that fast break. Anyways, I hope that this video helps you become a better basketball team and helps your players learn defense a lot better. I will see you again later on today for our second video of the day, because I post twice a day, every single day. I'll see you guys again later on.